can talk loud. Is that on? Oh, there we go. You may be seated. And welcome to the 2025 Medill School of Journalism. My name is Candace LeBlanc, and I'm grateful. 10 years ago, I first stepped onto Northwestern's campus, bachelor's degrees. 4 years ago, at Northwestern as a staff member. Proud triple alumna of I'm often asked what keeps me here at Northwestern. Northwestern is a community of learners, a network of historical and contemporary relationships with Native American tribes. Sorry. Oh, pardon me. This is normally where I would make a joke about how cold it's going to be during the Bears game, depending on whether you like sports or not. Round two, maybe. Northwestern is a community of learners situated within a network of historical and contemporary relationships with Native American tribes, communities, parents, students, and alumni. It is also in close proximity to an urban Native American community in Chicago and several near tribes in the Midwest. The Northwestern campus sits on the traditional homelands of the people of the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Odawa, as well as the Menominee, Miami, and Ho-Chunk nations. It is also a site of trade, travel, gathering, and healing for more than a dozen other Native tribes, and is still home to over 100,000 tribal members in the state of Illinois. It is within Northwestern's responsibility as an academic institution to disseminate knowledge about Native peoples and the institution's history with them. Consistent with the university's commitments, Northwestern works towards building relationships with Native American communities through academic pursuits, partnerships, historical recognitions, community service, and enrollment efforts. Now, it is my honor to introduce Medill's Dean and fellow Northwestern alumnus, Charles Whitaker, to deliver his marks. Please thank you all, and welcome Dean Whitaker.
Thank you so much, Candace. Good morning. Oh, I know it's cold, but we can do better than that. Good morning. Thank you. Welcome to this celebration of the Medill IMC class of 2025. Class of 2025, congratulations. This is your moment. Now, I know that the weather's a bit chilly, but I hope your hearts and spirits are warmed and buoyed by the joy of this momentous occasion. You've made it. After months of sometimes grueling work and years, in the case of our IMC professional students, you've reached this wonderful milestone. Now, for our full-time students, I have to say that my great regret is that my travels and the vicissitudes of being dean haven't allowed me as many opportunities as I might have liked to engage with you. We did get to go to a Wildcat women's basketball game, go Cats. And we traveled to Giordano's for a wonderful evening of pizza and wisdom dispensed by our keynote speaker, Nick Scarpino, whom I'm looking forward to hearing today. But alas, our opportunities to connect were far too few. Nevertheless, I have it on good authority from my colleagues that you have been a wonderful class. You've worked hard to get here, and yet, despite all that hard work, you still have managed to earn the reputation as the party class. My colleagues say that from the moment you arrived on campus, you were determined to augment your studies with some well-orchestrated good times, starting with a trip to the beach on day one and continuing with some 15 months of culturally significant festivities, both the traditional, like your celebration of the Chinese New Year, and concoctions of your own making, like Diwali Ween. Your collegial and collaborative spirit have made you one of the faculty's favorite cohorts, though if you tell that to any of our alumni and future students, we will categorically deny it. To our IMC Pro students, I have had the opportunity to connect with many of you over the course of your journey, and I must say that you have a special place in my heart. I deeply admire the discipline, dedication, and perseverance you've demonstrated in your quest to complete this program. You've juggled the demands of careers, family, civic, and social obligations. I have to tell you, I could not have accomplished what you have, as evidenced by the fact that I still have not finished my PhD after 10 years. I'm also in awe of the way you forged community across the miles and oceans and time zones that separated you. You've come together in immersive classes in London, Paris, Santiago, Chile, San Francisco, Chicago, and New York. At the same time, you've taken on new jobs and even started companies of your own. Class of 2025, my hope is that all of you, whether you were in the full-time or IMC professional programs, will emerge from this experience wiser, stronger, and more confident than you ever thought you'd be when you started this journey. My hope also is that you're emerging not just with a greater understanding of the principles of IMC and its focus on data-driven consumer and audience insight. I hope you emerge with a greater understanding of yourselves and the ties that bind us in the human experience. After all, you are a group that come from practically every corner of the globe. And you've had the rare opportunity to work closely alongside and collaborate with people whose backgrounds and lived experiences were often very different from your own. I hope that's been eye-opening and life-changing. I hope that it's provided you with the perspective you need to go out into the world and adapt and lead. Because our expectation is that you will not merely be foot soldiers in the IMC brigade, but that you'll continue to change and shape whatever industries you choose to enter. I want to thank each and every one of you for having the faith to invest in us and in yourselves, by pouring yourselves heart and soul into this experience, whether it was over the past 15 months or over the course of several years. Now, none of you were on this journey alone. The African proverb says that it takes a village to raise a child, and I'm sure you all realize that it takes something of a village to get through a program that is as demanding as ours. So let's pay tribute to some of the villagers who've helped you get to this point. I'd like to start by asking our graduates to indulge me for a moment and stand and give all the folks who are with you here today, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, guardians, partners, spouses, siblings, and children, a round of applause. So stand and take a look and find folks. Thank you. Thank you. As dean, I of course have my own village to help me keep Medill running, and I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the amazing colleagues that I have the pleasure of working alongside, starting with our academic advising team led by Associate Dean Darina Aguilar Rasmussen, along with Director of Academic Advising and Administration Hope Wallace, and Associate Director of Advising Akia Porter. I often tell people that we have the best advising team in all of higher education. I firmly believe that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Finally, there are the wonderful people sitting behind me here. It is my good fortune to be able to work with these amazing teachers and scholars. They are the engines that make Medill run. And as many of you will find when you're out in the world, they will remain great teachers and advisors to you well into your career. So I'd like to ask our faculty to stand. And students, please join me in showing our appreciation for them. You may be seated. Now, at each graduation ceremony, I like to remind people that there's a reason we call these exercises commencement. It's because while this may seem like an ending, the end of your academic career, at least for some of you, this is not an ending at all. It's a beginning of your postgraduate life, a life that I hope will be filled with an ongoing quest for knowledge and insight. I also like to emphasize that this is not the end of your relationship with Medill. This is the beginning of your new relationship with this institution. You join an elite club of more than 18,000 alumni dispersed around the world who call themselves Medillians. And I promise you that for the rest of your life and career, the Medill stamp will be a badge that helps you gain entry through a number of portals, no matter what you do in life. Whether you become a CMO or a CEO, like our speaker, Mr. Scarpino, whether you work for an agency or a company, or whether you apply the principles of IMC to some entirely new and heretofore unheard of field of endeavor, Medill IMC will be an important calling card. One other thing that you'll learn as you're out in the world is that we do not release our grasp from you just because you've graduated. We actually try to hold on pretty tightly. So don't be surprised when we reach out and tap you on the shoulder, asking you to help a young student or recent graduate who's hoping to follow in your footsteps, no matter where those footsteps may take you. I want you to remember the help you received from the people on the stage, from other alums, and pay it forward. That's what makes the Medill network work. That's what makes it successful. It's the secret sauce that has made this institution great for more than 100 years. Congratulations, class of 2025. It's been a pleasure having you amongst us, and I look forward to hearing about all that you'll do when you're out in the world. Now go forth and make us even more proud of you than we are today. Thank you. Now it is my great pleasure to invite to the podium Associate Dean Vijay Viswanathan.
Thank you, Dean Whitaker. Before I start my speech, I just want to share two quick notes. When I moved to Chicago 15 years ago, I learned two phrases. The first one was bone-chilling cold, and now we truly know what that means. The second thing is brave the cold, and that as humans, we'll do anything to get past whatever challenges there are to come, support each other, cherish each other, and inspire each other. So thank you for coming here. It's wonderful to see all of you. The second thing is maybe you're all wondering why we're wearing these robes. And just to quickly say, we are wearing the robes of our alma maters for the most part. So you can see these are my Emory colors, where's Michelle, I think Arizona colors. Professor Latour is wearing colors from Iowa. So that's why we are in these robes here, just for context. Again, many of you may not be aware. With that, good morning, graduating students, families, friends, faculty, and colleagues. Let me start with a simple observation. If perseverance were a required course at Medill, every one of our graduates today would have earned an A+ with honors, and maybe even asked for extra readings. You made it through late-night group meetings, breakout rooms that perhaps at times felt like escape rooms, and discussions when someone came in with a different point of view when you were just ready to wrap up and press the submit button. You have faced tremendous challenges. All the time, the world has tested your adaptability at every turn, and yet you are here, composed, accomplished, and very close to being alumni. That alone deserves applause. To our IMC full-time students, your journey has been defined by resilience. You entered a program that demanded rigor, confidence, precision, and collaboration across disciplines. You learn to think strategically while acting decisively, to embrace ambiguity while still delivering results. You navigated an evolving media and marketing landscape, one shaped by AI, data, ethics, platforms, and new forms of storytelling, while simultaneously discovering your own voice and professional identity. You just didn't keep up with change. You learned how to lead through it. That ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is no longer optional. It is your competitive advantage. To our pro students, your quest for knowledge and commitment to learning is truly inspirational. You balance demanding careers, families, caregiving responsibilities, travel schedules, and life's inevitable curveballs, while engaging fully in the program. Many of you join classes after full workdays, logged in from airports or hotel rooms, and in one case, went from an aquarium, and submitted assignments while managing teams and businesses in real time. You brought lived experiences to the classroom. You challenged theory with practice, enriched discussions with perspective, and reminded us that learning does not pause when life gets busy. It becomes more meaningful. Your discipline, time management, and commitment exemplify what lifelong learning is all about. At IMC, we take pride not just in what we teach, but in how we innovate and evolve. We constantly refresh our curriculum, push ourselves to stay ahead of trends rather than chase them. But innovation at IMC is not about tools or platforms. It's about mindset. It's about asking better questions, connecting disciplines, and preparing leaders who can shape, not simply respond to the future of journalism, media, and marketing communications. You are now part of that future. As you move forward, I encourage you to stay connected to Medill, to IMC, and importantly, to one another. Medill will continue to be your home, a place to return where you can share ideas, insight, and inspiration. We are incredibly proud of you, and we look forward to learning from you as your careers unfold. Let me close with a quote that feels especially fitting today, a quote from Maya Angelou. Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. You now know more, you see more, and you're prepared to do better for your organizations, your communities, and the world. Congratulations, graduating class. We cannot wait to see what you build next. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you the student speakers for today. We've got 2 students from the IMC full-time program and a student from the IMC professional student program. Alexander Cross. Is an IMC full-time student specializing in the brand and data sequences. She has served as IMC student ambassador and as a grader for market research, which is pretty incredible. Isabella Lima. Is an IMC full-time student specializing in the brand and media sequences. She served on the executive board of Medill's Cost Marketing Initiative and as a grader for consumer insights. Okay. Finally, I just want to introduce a speaker from the IMC professional program, Neha Ara Rashid. Is an IMC professional student based in Qatar, specializing in social and digital media communications, and served as a student ambassador for Medill's IMC professional track.
When we started this program, we were all strangers. Some of us to this country, some to the university, but all of us to each other. Today, the strangers that once met over name tags now finish each other's lives, understand each other's stares, and support one another through every challenge. Somewhere along the line, what once felt foreign became familiar.
And although it's just the 2 of us standing here, today, this moment and this speech is about all of us. So, in true IMC fashion, we gathered data to find one final insight. From our classmates, we learned 1 out of 4 of us is still not sure where IKEA's office is. But all 4 have felt her support at some point.
96% agree it's about the toast, not the toaster.
3/4 know this cohort is unstoppable. Thank you, Tony, for giving us our anthem.
But most importantly, nearly all of us know that the most valuable thing we're taking from this program is the friendship that we make.
Any good IMCer knows numbers never tell the whole story. To find the why, we turn to the people who shaped us just as much as our classmates did, our professors.
Across their words, we kept seeing the same themes: curiosity, kindness, and real connection. Jeff knows our resilience has prepared us for anything.
Judy said we embodied smartness meets humanness.
Chris believed we'll take on the world with our real magic.
Elizabeth saw us as a cohort of inquiring minds who were never one thing, always everything.
Jacqueline reminded us that we'll be successful because of who we are and not what we do.
Our favorite trio, Jerry, Ryan, and Neil, summed it up in 3 words: effort, energy, and empathy.
And Caroline said that we were extraordinary because of how we showed up for each other and not because of the work we did.
The real curriculum went beyond marketing. It was about shaping a space where we could grow, thrive, and most importantly, belong.
To our faculty, we thank you. You weren't just voices at the back of our classroom. You made us think deeper, question harder, and grow into the people that we are today.
Skills and heart is what makes our IMC journey unforgettable. The skills were built non-stop through immersion quarter, competitions, Medill Explores in London, New York, San Francisco, and even here in Chicago, and every single course that pushed us to the limit. But the heart, that came from each of us, from the homes, cultures, and experiences we all brought here.
And that heart is what turned our cohort into a place of belonging. And that heart, I'm going to say it again because it's an important line, it's what turned our cohort into a place of belonging. We're hardworking, yes, but also kind and heartful. That's the IMC 2025 signature. And now, as we step into what's next, we take that signature with us.
Before we close, we want to thank our families, friends, and loved ones for cheering us on from near and far. You've been our foundation, our fiercest cheerleaders. This achievement is as much yours as it is ours.
So what is our insight? More than just data, it's about the people behind it. Our familiarity doesn't come from a place of comfort. It comes from courage. Because our connection is not something we just found. We created it, one unfamiliar moment at a time.
And as we step into what's next, that's exactly what will set us apart. The world ahead will bring new challenges, but we already know how to turn the unknown into belonging. May we face each one the same way we face this program, with curiosity, with courage, and most importantly, each other. We've done it before.
And we'll do it again. Show up, reach out, and create belonging wherever we go. Because if there's one thing this program taught us, it's that we're unstoppable because we stand together.
Now, let's go show the world just how unstoppable we are.
Good morning. I'm honored to be nominated to represent the IMC professional cohort today. Allow me to introduce myself the way I have these last 2 years in every class. Hi everyone, my name is Neha Rashid. I'm a Pakistani living in Doha, Qatar, and it's currently 2 a.m. for me, so forgive me if I look a little tired. That line often got a couple of gasps, some sympathetic looks, followed by, how do you do it? Honestly, today I can tell you, I don't know how I did it, but I know I didn't do it alone. Because learning isn't about metrics and frameworks. It's about stretching yourself across perspectives, limits, and even time zones. It's about staying curious when you're tired, open-minded when you disagree, and brave enough to question and to grow, especially when it's uncomfortable. Whether it was Professor Tony reminding us that capital chases value, Professor Roy reassuring us there's a story in the numbers, we just have to find it, or Professors Candy and Hirsch scheduling immediate calls to give me my own career advice after SOS emails I sent in the middle of the night. All those moments and more stayed with me far beyond the classroom. This program has been a masterclass, not just in communications and marketing, but in empathy and connection. I learned through teammates who woke up early or stayed up late just so I could join from the other side of the world. Through professors who took mercy on me and didn't call on me at 4 a.m., and those who did, because they believed I had something worth saying, and especially through the small, beautiful moments that made this community feel so real, even from miles apart. Because our friendships didn't depend on geography. They lived in our WhatsApp chats, venting sessions, and catch-ups about life. We've shared laughter, stress, milestones, even a love story or two. And yes, I'm talking about our IMC Pro couple that met and got married during the program. Proof that group projects can end well for some of us. From my undergrad at Northwestern Qatar to my master's in Chicago, one thing has stayed constant: the wildcat spirit. Wherever we are in the world, we share this purple thread, a belief that learning is lifelong and that our journeys are richer when we share them together. So to our professors, thank you for demanding our best and for reminding us that excellence is not just a moment, but a habit. To my colleagues and mentors back home who supported me every day at work and allowed me to take an absurd amount of time off for my immersives and classes, thank you. To my parents and siblings, those who could be here today and those who couldn't, thank you for your patience, love, and definitely your financial rescue every time tuition was due. I am who I am today because of you. And to my husband, none of this would have happened without you. You have been my rock, my sounding board, and the man who peacefully snored through my 2 a.m. classes. I love you. A year ago, my then 6-year-old nephew asked me, "Auntie, are you seriously still in school? When does it end?" I'm sorry to say, my sweetheart, it never does, and that's the point. Because as Wildcats, we know that learning isn't a phase, but a way of life. And I hope we all take this lesson with us wherever we go from here on out. So class of 2025, congratulations, and as is customary for anyone to say, go Cats. I'd now like to introduce Cindy Jo to the stage.
As Dean Whitaker mentioned, our program loves to party. And last fall, the day before orientation, some of my wonderful classmates organized a little picnic just outside of here on the lawn. At that point, I did not know a single person in the program yet, and needless to say, I was very nervous. So I did what I always do when I get anxious, and I baked, and I showed up to the picnic with a nice tray of homemade cookies. If you're curious, they were Biscoff white chocolate strawberry cookies, and they were very good. And I brought them partly to contribute, partly just to have something to hold, but mostly to make the whole thing feel a little less intimidating. And luckily, it worked. That tiny act of baking helped me break the ice, meet people, and walk into orientation just a little bit braver. Now, over a year later, I've realized that baking and IMC actually have a lot in common. I know that sounds like a horrible, cheesy LinkedIn post, but hear me out. Both start with knowing your ingredients and trusting the process. And just like in IMC, you test ideas, you adjust, and you refine. And eventually, with enough mixing and tweaking, something clicks. And the best part is getting to share it with others. And speaking of creating things that people love, someone who truly understands the power of getting the ingredients right is our speaker today. A leader who understands what it takes to create something with real depth, deep depth to be specific. It is my honor to introduce Nick Scarpino, CEO of Giordano's and former CMO of Portillo's, and a fellow Medill IMC alum whose career spans Google and some of the most beloved comfort food in the country. He's someone who knows how to create and bake experiences people truly crave. Please join me in welcoming Nick Scarpino.
Well, thank you, Cindy. That was very well done. I appreciate the nice introduction. Thanks a lot. Dean Whitaker, members of the Medill faculty and staff, proud family members, and most importantly, to the Northwestern IMC class of 2025, thank you for inviting me to be here. At such a distinguished university, you could have invited almost anyone to speak to you today. Northwestern is home to professors who have won Nobel Prizes, alumni who have won Emmys and Pulitzers, and famous alumni from the big screen and stage. And yet you invited me to speak to you today, a guy who sells pizza for a living. I will try to do my best. Let's start with this. Congratulations to you, the class of 2025. You did it. I was in your shoes just 14 short years ago. I have very fond memories of my time in the IMC program. I vividly remember one of my first classes with a guest lecture from the legend himself, Professor Don Schultz. He gave us an assignment to write a paper about a brand of our choice. And I don't remember the particulars of the assignment, but I worked on that paper for hours because remember, we didn't have ChatGPT back then. I was so confident and proud to hand my paper in. When Professor Schultz handed the papers back the next week, there was not a grade written on the top of mine. Instead, it simply said, "You clearly did not understand the assignment. Try again." I realized right there that I had a lot to learn. Now, I assume that, like me, you have made lifelong friends during your time at IMC. In fact, I'm not sure what's more impressive about this program, the students in it or the professors who teach here. In fact, there was so much talent in my class that I'm still not sure how I was even accepted into the program. I distinctly remember a class with Professor Julie Danis in which she was showing some clips of brilliant television ads. One ad for Tide was shot entirely in black and white and didn't have any dialogue. It featured a dad with his young daughter rolling around some clean white sheets. It was beautiful. When the ad ended, our professor asked what research we thought went into making that ad. Once we all had a chance to respond, my classmate Marcus, he raised his hand and he said, "Professor Danis, I'm happy to share my thoughts because I wrote that ad." I was floored. We were all floored. How could I be in the same room as someone so talented? And I'm sure many of you feel the same way, and the truth is, you belong here, and you have achieved something remarkable today. Today, you are graduating from the greatest marketing communication program on earth, and that deserves applause. You will forever carry with you the proud legacy of those who have come before you, and you now have a network of IMC alums like me who are cheering for you and want to help you succeed. I'd like to give you some advice. No matter where you are in your career, my advice to you is very, very simple. Never stop being creative. I think creativity, your ability to come up with and execute original ideas, is the most important ingredient to long-term success in business and the success that you will have in your career. At its essence, marketing is built on creativity, and you are the ones companies will look to for creativity in the future. You now have the skills and expertise to be creative in all aspects of your career. Use those skills to the best of your ability. Some of you may be job hunting now or in the future. Be creative in your search. I want to give you an example of what I mean. I was working full-time at Google in 2014 when Dick Portillo, the founder of iconic restaurant brand Portillo's, announced he was going to sell his restaurant chain. I had been a cashier at Portillo's when I was in high school. As soon as the new owners of Portillo's were announced, I wrote an email to the primary contact of the new company. The subject line of my email was, "I work at Google, but my heart is at Portillo's." In a brief paragraph, I told the new owners that I knew they had never had a marketing department, and I gave them a few reasons why they should hire me to be their first marketer. Incredibly, they wrote me back and invited me to meet in person to pitch for my job. I guess the pitch went well because I became the company's first chief marketing officer, a job I held for 10 years prior to joining Giordano's. Thanks. Now that's just one example of how being creative helped me in my career, and I am very confident that creativity will help in your career too. When I took on my current role as CEO of legendary Chicago pizza chain Giordano's, I'll admit that I was a bit worried. For as long as I can remember, all I wanted to do was work in marketing because I thought it was the best way to be creative. I wondered, as CEO, would I still be able to be creative? Are there ways to be creative when working on HR and accounting and legal issues? Well, I've learned that there are many different types of CEOs. Some gravitate towards finance. Some gravitate towards operations. I lean into creativity, and so can you, no matter where your career takes you. Let me give you an example. Giordano's is an amazing brand with a rich 50-year history, but our iconic stuffed deep dish pizza is what I call a sometimes food. It's not something people typically eat every day. Trust me, I've tried. Our typical customer eats our pizza once or twice a year. So one of our biggest opportunities is to drive frequency. Fortunately for us, Chicago is the only city in the US that has two distinct types of pizza. We have deep dish and what's known as tavern-style pizza. If you don't know, tavern-style pizza is named for bars on the south side of Chicago that for decades have served thin, round, crispy, delicious pizzas cut into squares, usually for free, to keep people buying alcohol. Tavern-style pizza is much more of a weeknight meal replacement than deep dish. So just a few months ago, we launched our own version of tavern-style pizza at Giordano's. Our goal isn't to replace deep dish pizza, it's to make our tavern-style pizza just as famous. We spent months with our head chef working on the crust so that it's perfectly crispy in every single bite. We sampled dozens of versions. It was tough work, but someone had to do it. Our marketing team nailed the ad campaign, coming up with the creative slogan, "A crunch so loud you can taste it." The weekend before our big launch, I wanted to make sure everyone in the company knew how important this product is to our future. I wanted to get everyone in the company's attention. So I emailed our entire company something I thought was pretty creative and hopefully inspiring. I wrote a poem called "'Twas the Weekend Before Tavern Style," an homage to "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." In it, I praised each department by name for their work. I had ChatGPT make a cartoon image of me as Saint Nick in a sleigh holding tavern-style pizzas in Giordano's boxes above the Chicago skyline. The poem I sent out concluded with these lines: "On Tuesday we launched with a cheer and a smile, a gift to our guests, it's been worth the while. And we'll shout as the first orders fly out of sight, happy tavern style to all, and to all a crunchy bite." Yes, thank you. Now, dozens of our team members reached out to say they thought this was fun, creative, and it got their attention. Did it make a difference? I'm never quite sure. And this was just one email. But our teams have embraced the tavern-style pizza, its sales have been fantastic, and I was able to flex my creative muscle to contribute to our culture. So how does this apply to you? Well, hopefully I've made you hungry for Giordano's. And hopefully you understand that no matter where your career takes you, you should find ways to infuse creativity, original ideas into everything you do. Your career and your company will benefit. Now, I love puns. I think puns are an easy launch pad for creativity. So I'd like to close with some final words of wisdom, a challenge to the class of 2025, if you will. And I'm going to do it with a whole bunch of pizza puns. You ready? Here we go. After you head out after graduation, perhaps to make some more dough, there are a few things I need you to know. Creativity is your secret sauce. Here we go. Use it every opportunity you have. But life isn't always a pizza cake. There's always mushroom for improvement. When things get hot, remember what you learned here. Think creatively, and you'll rise to the occasion. Nobody can put you in a box. You can do, there's a few more. You can do whatever you put your mind to, whether you want to be a chief marketing officer or the big cheese. Congratulations, Northwestern IMC grads, on a job well done. Now go out there, get cooking, make us proud, and deliver. Never stop being creative. Thank you all very much, and hasta la pizza. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Hello, graduates and families. I'm Jacqueline Babb, the Academic Director for Full-Time IMC, better known as the American Mom. Now we are going to present the degrees of Masters in Integrated Marketing Communications. Families and friends, if you will, please hold your applause to the end.
Candice Elizabeth LeBlanc. Alexandra Cross. Isabella Maria Lima Loria. Neha Ara Rashid. Cindy Zhou. Cole Johnson Sias. Lauren Sutter. Patrick Judian Talley. Thomas Lewin Kira.
Sheet 1, Emily Should. Jia Yi Yang. Susan John. Soraya Michaela Koblenz. Chen Hua Yu. Oluwaseun Ibukunalua Ayen. Alamgir Zafar Janjua. Nathaniel Song Sun. Ian Cox. Casey Sue. Julia Marie Sauer. Gabrielle Elaine Benson. Elaine McCreary. Grace Elizabeth Cleveland. Darby Lynn Rand. Natalie Wisniewski. Brianna Chen. Kennedy Evelyn Scott. Mihir Rajwade. Allison Estelle Wicks. Nicole Pine. Ewan Lynn. Huimin Yu. Mandy Xiong. Evelyn Hung. Yifei Liu. Pangqi Liu.
Guo.
Yangzhou. Jingshuan Wang. Yijing Huang.
Kind of like what was happening earlier.
Kathy Sejia Shu. Sirui Wang. Xinyi Cheryl Shu. Jie Yan Han. Ru Yang Cheng. Wei Jia Wang. Amanda Lee. Lini Chang. Yi Xin Lin. Cindy Cho. Josh Shu. Yue Feng. Yijia Chen. Zhifei Liang. Si Ding. Aaron Chen. Shi Yuan Ding. Bowen Su. Xing Yu Ten. Yilin Shao. Siwan Zheng. Shuai Liu. Jiayin Li. Yinuo Song. include Wenwei Chang, Xingyu Shai, Shu Yi Wang, Nandini Balu, Kritika Iyer, Anai Otter, Kuaish Jitipsin Rohit, Priyal Kanuja, Shenyi Zhang, Xinyi Wang, Anvi Mehul Kamdar, Malika Mehta, Ria Rajesh Rajiv, Nirali Shah, Tarana Jagota, Ziggy Wang, Jenny Yang, Vivian Lee, Taruna Ramakrishnan Naikya, Tanvi Rumali, Nirmala Kumari Palisette, Evelyn Lawrence Sutter, Haley Christina Phillips, Yuki Feng, Kritika Krishna, Hong Jong Yi Kylie Chen, Jingru Wang. Selena Yichao Wang. Tunan Kandakar. Mitchell Todd Borgard. Sophia Catherine Papadentonaki. Amber Dimitrov. Dennis Nathaniel Bird II. Jasmine Precious Ponder Gully.
Where's the audio paper that you sent me?
Michael Buesler. Shahina Napoli. Matthew Scott Reichenbach. Onyx Opal Finney. Danielle Diaz. Kristen O'Neill. And Elizabeth Garrity. Alejandra Trueba Ruiz. Samantha Gordon. Devin Skyler Levy. Amy Louise Mullins. Brittany Lynn Owens. Emma Marie Landry. Jeffrey Stender. Lucy Z. Wu. Pitchia Chanshanwat. Kong Yuan Sun. Zuhair Shabir. Tianrong Ye. Vivian May. Yan Lu Wang. Evan Wu. Jasper Xiong. Si Yuan Feng. Yi Yi Huang. Ashley Wan. Yun Yi Wang. Noor Chen. Yin Zi. Ying Ying. Yaron Lu. Yulin Guo. Arjun Kumar. Muhammad Iqbal. Kara Timmons. Jacob Conley.
Lucas Michael Johnson.
Where to?
Hi, everyone. Sorry, finding my speech. My name is Cole Sias, and on behalf of my IMC full-time cohort, I am honored to present the award for the IMC Full-Time Teacher of the Year, especially in this year when we had a record number of faculty nominated. With so many exceptional educators in our program, it speaks volumes about the teacher that we're recognizing tonight. This year's awardee is someone who makes the most complex ideas feel simple and unintimidating. Someone who can turn numbers from something to fear into something to enjoy. Friends who were nervous about choosing this class told me his teaching, humor, and playfulness took away that anxiety and made the experience not just accessible, but exciting. I've consistently heard how thorough and patient he is, how infectious his passion is, and how surprising it is to see such profound concepts explained with clarity and ease. He's also deeply personable and humble. Friends still talk about the night that he and his spouse joined them to make dumplings. It's clear he's unanimously adored. People joke that he's the Taylor Swift of data, but personally, I think that he's more Hans Zimmer, turning complexity into something beautifully orchestrated. It's my privilege to present the Teacher of the Year award to Professor Ed Malthouse.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Sutter.
And I'm Patrick Talley. Let's see, where is it? And I'm Patrick Talley, and we are the 2025 Medill IMC Pro Ambassadors. We are proud to present the 2025 IMC Professional Teacher of the Year. This year, we also, in IMC Pro, had a record number of nominations, with nearly every professor being nominated.
That speaks to the dedication and caliber of our faculty, but one professor stood out amongst all of them. He embodies IMC, turning data into meaningful stories, and he's always there for his students, even on weekends as we balance family, work, and graduate studies.
I was fortunate enough to take all 3 courses he teaches in the IMC Pro program, from eigenvalues and factor analysis in Radiant to evaluating the brand essence of a classic British heritage brand. He doesn't just teach the duality of IMC, he models it in a way that we can use every day.
What sets him apart is his commitment, not only to the curriculum, but to the community we're building. He supported us through late night panics, especially during that dreaded J. Crew project. He was there for career uncertainties, and he's been there for every moment of growth we've had. Patrick and I also had the privilege to travel to London with him, where we saw a professor who never clocks out. Who treats every interaction as a chance to mentor and invest in our true future.
Lauren and Neha and I also had an opportunity as academic advisor to get to know him as he championed our student-led IMC Professional Catalyst series, offering connections, guidance, and constant encouragement. He was our behind-the-scenes cheerleader.
So will you all join us as it's our honor to announce the 2025 IMC Pro Teacher of the Year, Professor and Program Director, Chris Cahill.
My speech. It's a lot of papers here. All right. I hope my gown looks good. Does it look good? All right. All right. Good morning, everyone, to our families, friends, professors, and photographer. I like this side, so thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. I actually can't believe it. This is it. It's the last speech. I promise. So last moment, we're all in this room together as students, and I was given the opportunity to give some closing remarks. 15 months ago, we all walked in asking the same question. What will this program give us? And when I think about what IMC has given us, I could talk about the frameworks. I could talk about the strategies, SQL. But honestly, that's not what's going to stay with us long after we've forgotten the specifics of Tuesday morning class. What IMC has really done, what our professors have truly instilled in us, is a mindset. It's a framework for understanding people, for asking why someone thinks the way that they do, what drives their decisions, and how we connect with them authentically. It's about curiosity that doesn't quit, looking at problems from every angle, seeing patterns others miss. Our professors didn't just teach us concepts, They trained us to think differently every step of the way. And that's what we carry forward. And this mindset, it's our superpower. In every boardroom, every strategy session, every meeting, we'll see it. We'll see the opportunity. We'll find the angles no one else thought to look for. In a world where skills can be taught, tools can be learned, the way we think, that's our competitive advantage. We didn't just earn a degree. We gained a way of thinking that's unique to us, and it's going to set us apart every single day. 15 months ago, we walked in asking, what will this program give us? Now we know, and I know we'll make something great of it. Congratulations, class of 25. Let's show the world what this mindset can do. Clap. All right. Keep it going. One more time. You have one last time. Clap for yourselves. All right. One more time. All right. All right. Hold it, hold it, hold it. I have one more thing to say. This is the important part. I invite you to please rise and join in singing the Northwestern Alma Mater. We kindly ask everyone to remain seated until the academic party and graduates have left the concert hall. A dessert reception will be held in the lobby, and our event will conclude at noon. And again, clap again. Congratulations, class of 25.